two or one kettlebell on each hand. Uh, they're 28 kilograms each, which is 62 pounds. So, at the gym today, the weather is super rainy and yeah, just not appropriate conditions to work out outside. In any case, while at the gym, I'm going to make use of the sled, which is the main thing that I miss about working out at home, is not having access to a sled. So my plan for today is to do a lot of circuits surrounding the sled and different kinds of sled movements. Um, might repeat some movements, but the main goal is to have the sled as a constant portion of the workout, at least for the main part of it. Let's see what happens after that. Yeah, so starting off with reverse sled drags. The reverse sled is a really good movement to target the VMO, which is a muscle on the inner side of the quads. It kind of looks like a teardrop, and apparently it's a muscle that goes, I guess, slightly undertrained. And the sled is a very effective way of targeting it. You can target the VMO using leg extension machines, but me personally, I prefer the reverse sled for targeting those. In any case, supersetting this with a kettlebell complex. Doing tactical clean to shoulder press for 5 on each side using a 24 kilogram kettlebell, which is around 52 pounds, I think. Going for 5 on each side. Then I'm going to do 10 rows, but broken up into reps of 2 on each side. So 2, then switch. So yeah, doing these movements for now. Also, another thing regarding doing reverse sled versus a leg extension. The reverse sled is much more of a full body movement than the leg extension, and I think it's always better to target muscles in the context of other muscles. So in the sense, through quote unquote natural or full body movements versus isolating them. I don't know, just in my experience, the full body variation is usually always quote unquote healthier, if that makes sense. But yeah, that's just my personal feeling. There could definitely be instances in which that's not true. But yeah, anyway, doing this for 5 sets, then on to the next thing. Unfortunately, they've turned on the music at the gym, and it's playing fairly loudly, which usually means that it's going to be kind of a pain to edit later because of the high volume of the music. And then the video gets, I guess, a copyright notice. And I don't know if it's in my head, but although I'm not monetized yet on YouTube or anything, it feels like when there is a copyright notice, the video is recommended less. But that could just be in my head. In any case, for the next set of movements, doing a combination farmer's walk and reverse sled drag for the first half of it. So, looks like this. So I have two or one kettlebell on each hand. They're 28 kilograms each, which is 62 pounds. So the main thing that happens as a result of this is, so with each step I take, since I'm holding weight, first off my forearms and are activated the whole way through, but also with each step my body is rocking side to side, and with the added weight my core has to stay a lot more activated and brace itself more to account for the resistance with, or the added weight with which my body is rocking to either side. And then while on the way of, or while pushing it back, I have the kettlebells on the sled, which is an added 124 pounds to the sled weight while pushing it back, which is pretty brutal. Then I'm going to do kettlebell clean to press, starting from a dead stop for 8 reps. So looks like this, starting at dead stop, clean, press, back to dead stop, used two 35-pound kettlebells for that, and finishing off with medicine ball slams, but doing like a chest throw into the ground. So it looks like that. doing 10 of that. Doing this as a circuit for 4 times, and then on to the next thing. So for what will probably be the last set of sled and kettlebell movements, going to start off with alternating single arm sled rows. So in most cases, when a sled is involved, it usually comes with some form of strap. So going to hold the strap with one hand, sit back into like a squat. As I sit back into a squat, I feel a stretch or like tension building up in the lats, and then I squat back and row at the same time in kind of like an explosive fashion. Looks like this. That was a bad rep, but yeah, that one was better. So switching hands on each row. This is a kind of row that gets the whole body involved. Most other kinds of rowing movements, so even if it's like kettlebell gorilla rows or cable or seated cable rows or something like that, there's still a lot more isolation going on than it being a full body movement. But with the cables or with the sled row, I think it becomes more of a full body movement. Once I reach the end, just doing a regular sled push back. Then with the 28 kilogram 62-pound kettlebell, going to do a complex. So going to get into a staggered stance, do 3 deadlifts, then 3 rows, then I'll take the back foot and keep it a little further ahead. This puts me in a position where I can do a clean or a staggered clean lunge combo. So I'm going to do that 3 times. And then I'm going to repeat all of this on the other side. Going to do 4 sets of this. Probably move into something mobility-esque next. Yeah, so that's probably what's coming up. For the final set of movements, like I mentioned earlier, finishing off with some lower body mobility. So, going to grab the cables and sit back and keep my legs spread to the point where I feel light stretch in my adductor / groin area. and going to slowly let the weight pull me forward. As that happens, the stretch that I was feeling in the adductors will slowly increase, and then a stretch will start developing in the hamstrings, the glutes, the lower back, then going into the lats, into the spine, and also the rear delts. So the further I sink or let the weight pull me forward, the more that stretch is exaggerated, and I'm slowly trying to exaggerate that stretch, not going too fast. And then when I feel like I have hit a threshold, I'll come back up. Then I'll repeat that again. But each time I'm trying to like move past that threshold a little bit more. So wherever I had to come up the first time, more often than not, when I go back down again, I'm able to stretch a little further. And then I find the new threshold and then come back up. Doing this anywhere from 5 to 8 times. The reps are, I guess, less important than the actual stretch itself. But you want to kind of take it slow. I think really connecting with the stretch helps. And by connecting with the stretch, I mean like the whole time, like my mind is in my muscles. Like I'm very conscious about what muscles are getting stretched, and I'm trying to be very aware of uh, like any imbalances that exist between either side or between the sides of my body. And if I notice anything, I try little things like rotating my wrists in or out, or tilting my body one way or the other to see if that makes a difference. And by doing all those little things, it feels like I'm more, I guess, able to connect with and even out imbalances while performing this movement. And I don't know if it was very apparent, but I think if you watch the video back, my range of motion on the first rep versus the fifth rep, there was, I think, a significant difference where I was able to go deeper on the fifth rep. In any case, supersetting this with ATG split squats body weight. So, leaning into the front leg and getting on my toes, looking up. This exaggerates the stretch in the hip flexor of the back leg, and then push up with the quads. I'm going to do this 5 times on each leg. Switching sides. There's something about stretching the hip flexor that just makes the whole body feel good. Like whenever I stretch my hip flexors or do ATV split squats, there's this kind of relief that almost seems to radiate through the entire body. Oof. So yeah, doing this for now. Going to do 3 sets of it, and then head to the sauna. I don't know if I'll record anything after the sauna, but yeah, if I don't, this is the end of the video. See you all in the next one. I might have jiu-jitsu tomorrow. Oh yeah, so before that, yesterday is typically jiu-jitsu day. So my jiu-jitsu days are Tuesdays and Thursdays. But I don't know, my elbows have been feeling a little stressed, I guess. Maybe just a lot of, so we've been drilling arm bars quite a bit, and I think as a result, like my elbows were feeling kind of sore, and just in general, there's been a lot of squeezing around my neck area, and I don't feel like I've injured anything, but it's just like sore to the point where I think if I were to, I don't know, push it a little bit more, there's a chance that it could get injured. So I decided to take yesterday off, but I did run 10.1 miles, which is 16.16 kilometers, I think. And yeah, depending on how I feel tomorrow, I might do jiu-jitsu or just go on a run, or maybe I might just lift weights. So yeah, I'm not really sure if there's going to be a video tomorrow or not, but yeah, just thought I'd mention it. In any case, this might be it for the video. See you all in the next one.